Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. So my name is Fresta Enjelysa Septiani and I'm from the 6A of English Education Department. And this video was created in order to fulfill my mid-task of qualitative research, and it will talk about 5 definitions in qualitative research. Okay, so the first one is the definition of research objective. So research objectives are the goals that you set in your study that you want to achieve through your study. It informs the readers what you want to research and how far you want to go. And it also informs the readers about the scope and extent of the study. The most important point to consider is the clarity of the research objectives. And then here there are some characteristics of the research objectives. The first one is clear. The way you word your research objectives tell a lot about your research. The wording should have to be very clear and very well defined. Make simple sentences but clear and avoid complexities in wording. And then the second characteristic is complete. Each phrase in the research objective should have a sense of completeness. Broken sentence and incomplete objective can lead you into trouble later on. And then the third one is specific. Your research objective should specifically focus on the what, how, when, and where questions, and there should be no loopholes. And then here is the example of objective research or research objectives, and I take from the research entitled an analysis of problems in teaching learning English speaking skills, and this is a descriptive qualitative study at the third semester students of English Education Study Program in IAIN Bengkulu. And here is the example. So the objective of the research is seen like this. The first one is to find out the problems in speaking skills students face when teaching and learning activities in class, and then to find out the causes of problems with speaking skills when teaching and learning activities. And these are the objectives of the research from this title. Okay, so the second definition is the definition of the significance of the study. So the significance of the study is a written statement that explains why your research was needed. It's a justification of the importance of your work and impact it has on your research field. Its contribution to new knowledge and how others will benefit from it. The significance of the study, also known as the rationale of the study, is important to convey the reader why the research work was important. Okay, so here I also take an example from the research entitled an analysis of problems in teaching learning English speaking skills as a descriptive qualitative study at the third semester students of English Education Study Program in IAIN Bengkulu. And here is the example of significance of the research. The first one, for the lecturers, this information can help lecturers to better understand various speaking skills and etc. This is apa pentingnya untuk lecture-nya gitu. And then the second significance of study is ditunjukkan kepada students. For the students, they can also get more information about the causes that trigger students' problem when they speak English. Jadi di sini diterangkan bahwa penelitian ini itu penting loh untuk research, untuk the lecturer atau untuk gurunya dan juga untuk studentsnya gitu. And then the third definition is key term. The definition of key term. Key term are important words or concepts found in your research question or thesis. A quick and dirty way to pull key term from research question or thesis is to choose the most important nouns All other words are irrelevant. Using key terms to search will always retrieve more results than phrases or sentences. Nah, jadi di sini dijelaskan mengenai variabel apa saja yang ada di judul kita gitu. Di sini saya mengambil contoh dari penelitian yang masih sama, yaitu dengan judul An Analysis of Problems in Teaching Learning English Speaking Skills, di mana di sini definition of key term-nya itu yang pertama adalah teaching and learning. Di sini dijelaskan teori mengenai teaching and learning, and then yang kedua adalah teori mengenai speaking. Nah, di sini juga dijelaskan mengenai speaking itu apa, seperti itu. Okay, so the next definition is a definition of previous study. Now, previous studies are a group of research and studies that deal with the topic that the researcher studied, and thus studies provide a lot of information to the researchers on the subject of the study that helps him to fully understand the subject of his scientific research. Nah, jadi apa sih pentingnya or the importance of previous study ini? Jadi pentingnya itu yang pertama, previous study atau studi pendahuluan ya, atau research terdahulu gitu, itu previous study provide information and a general idea about the subject of the study, and therefore through which the researcher can avoid making mistakes that the researchers made. Previous studies save time and effort by providing clear information on the subject of the study. And then the second importance of the previous study is previous studies save time and effort on the researchers by providing ready and proven information about the topic that the researcher is studying, and therefore the researcher will not waste much of his time. And then the third one is in addition to that, previous studies alert the researchers to the error sites that other researchers have signed, and thus can avoid them and not make them, so that his research is free of error. And then the last but not least, previous studies provide an opportunity for the researcher to view the recommendations left by previous researchers and thus be able to discuss them. Okay, so here I also choose the example of previous study from the SAM research, the SAM thesis, entitled An Analysis of Problems in Teaching Learning English Speaking Skills, and the previous study is looks like this. Okay, I think jadi di previous study ini itu dipaparkan beberapa studi terdahulu gitu ya, yang sesuai dengan topik yang sedang kita teliti gitu, yang sedang diteliti. Di sini in the first paragraph, di paragraf pertama itu dijelaskan bahwa researchers ini menemukan ada studi tentang bla 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 yang sesuai dengan topik ini. Kemudian dijelaskan isi studinya itu apa, kesimpulannya itu apa, dan hasilnya itu seperti apa, seperti itu. Lalu di second paragraph juga sama, ditemukan studi tentang apa, terus juga hasilnya seperti apa, dan seterusnya dipaparkan seperti itu. Terus di paragraf ketiga juga previous study juga terus dipaparkan kesimpulannya apa dan seterusnya. Lalu di paragraf terakhir itu berisikan kesimpulan. Jadi dari previous study yang 1, 2, 3 itu tadi disimpulkan bahwa ternyata seperti apa nih perbedaan research kita dengan research terdahulu, seperti itu. Okay, so the next definition is about the definition of instrument of the research. So the term research instruments refers to any tool that you may use to collect or obtain the data, measure data, and analyze data that is relevant to the subject of your research. The format of the research instrument may consist of questionnaires, surveys, interviews, checklists, or a simple task. The choice of which specific research instrument tool to use will be decided on by the researcher. It will also be strongly related to the actual methods that will be used in a specific study. Oke, jadi di sini saya juga mengambil contoh instrument of the research ya dari study yang masih sama, yaitu dengan judul An Analysis of Problems in Teaching Learning English Speaking Skills. So the first instrument that used in this research is observation. Observation with the document, and then documentation, and then interview and documentation. Okay. And here the observation is done by observing the behavior of students when speaking skills using English students take place. And then while the interview, in this case, before conducting interview, the researchers will interview students and lecturer. And then for students who will be interviewed, the researcher choose several students who experience problems that often occur when speaking in English. For example, experiencing difficulties, fear, and anxiety, who exhibit signs anxiety as an interview. And then furthermore, students who voluntarily become participants will be interviewed by the researchers. Dan seterusnya, and then documentation. And in this study, data collection also used documentation to obtain important data. The documentation used to collect data is the reviewed. And then the documentation used in this research is the book and the camera. Okay, so that's all for my presentations about 5 definitions in qualitative research. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.